Hello again, and today I am going to be delving back into the Groyper Wars. Now, I know Star Wars month is coming up, and I have two videos that I will be recording at some point within this week for the first two videos of the entire month of Star Wars content. But I know that there's no events going on this week, so therefore there will be no update come next Monday. However, there will be a really big fat Star Wars merchandise video, so look forward to that. There's some film footage, and I believe the week after I will be able to update because there'll be some events within next week. But, just keep your ear to the ground for any announcements on my Telegram, my Minds account, or my Gav account, and you'll be kept up to date on the Groyper Wars as they come. However, I do want to talk, before I get into the events, on the momentum, boys, because the momentum is unfortunately dying out, and we need, again, as I've said in every video, we need to keep up the pressure. This needs to continue into Student Action Summit. This needs to continue into every Turning Point in YAF event. This needs to continue into the 2020 election if you want a strong conservative movement going forward into the next decade, because we cannot just let this shit die with Charlie Kirk getting embarrassed out of the public limelight. He's going to come back and he's going to attempt to have a new PR strategy to deal with you guys, to deal with the Groypers on the whole. So we do need to keep the momentum up, Just like with $1 Million Extreme, MDE never dies. And I'm going to say it right now, man, the Groyper Wars never die. Because until we get the mission accomplished, we cannot let this shit slip into memory. This needs to be done. So, fortunately, this week we did have a couple events. There was a Michael Knowles YAF event that had some publicized video clips. I will link the full thing. However, you can see the disingenuous clipped versions that just have these misleading fucking titles. Michael Knowles got severely owned and wrecked, and I want to thank the small channel Beacon for the West for highlighting the one where Michael Knowles went off, and then I went and looked in the Daily Wire YouTube section. That's how I found these really smear job named videos. And the second guy fucking nailed him when it came to, disavowing Nick Fuentes, but being pro Lady Manga and having a great conversation with the guy as he was forced to double down and acknowledge that yes, Lady Manga's a male. But for me, what it shows is that Michael Knowles is once again disingenuous. He's done this before, specifically to James Alsop, a guy who has his questionable moments with white identity, but to just outright smear him as a white nationalist when he really is just a fucking cultural commentator on, more ethnically based issues is, again, a huge smear. Without James Alsop, I would have never known about that House resolution that Dan Crenshaw was trying to pass to get more Indian tech workers into America. That was the first time I was like, whoa, Dan Crenshaw, dude, you're a fuck up, and you're retarded, and you're becoming John McCain Jr., and then he did the red flag laws, and obviously, he's where he is now, a cringe lord fucking Zyoclops. But, yeah, so for Michael Knowles to continuously slam both Nicholas J. Fuentes and James Alsop is just proof that he just wants to be on the in crowd. And if he has more comments like he had recently that got him ousted from the Fox News circuit, then, yeah, you're going to be sitting pretty with Nicholas Fuentes and James Alsop before long. So you might as well start palling around a little bit. And, owning up to the fact that Nicholas J. Fuentes caught you in a fucking great troll photo where, Nick, a diminutive statured person, made you look small. It was super weird seeing the two of you together. But that's it on Michael Knowles. Andrew Clavin also had some public events that I have not found the footage for. However, he did some pretty shady shit. So there's this kind of well-known YouTube podcast known as Revenge of the Sis. They cover a lot of the grift right, the merchant right, that side of the culture war. And what they've been known to do is to talk about when grifters are grifting. And Andrew Clavin is one of these merchant right type people. I have not talked about him in detail because I don't really, his world and my world don't really coalesce together unless it's like him talking about entertainment, in which case I may pay attention. Just maybe. But for the most part, we don't interact. And so when I saw Revenge of the Sis cover Andrew Clavin last week, I thought it was really strange that he's finally commenting on the whole Nick Fuentes thing, and he's, obviously doing the whole conservative thing. This guy is a Nazi, and I've talked about how much I hate Nazis, and I'd much rather than be replaced with more Jews. And it's just like, oh, okay, here we go. Cringe boomer time. And yet, Revenge of the Sis went further. They found an old video of what they call his Daily Wire tryout, in which Andrew Clavin talked about the one-state solution for the greatest ally and, their greatest enemy, fucking Palestine. And that Palestine should be absorbed into Greater Israel, and it should be, a hub of all religious beliefs in one government. And, for someone who claims to be a nationalist, that's a very globalist take to fucking to fucking combine governments into one super state government. Like, that is such a globalist take, I almost spit up. But what he did, and this happened just today, is he struck Revenge of the Sis's channel for a week. It got struck for a week, and now they can only stream on a small channel that I will have a link in the description for, that they have control of. And, you do the shit on DLive as normal. But that is a fucking shifty, shady move. And we gotta accept that is a dick move. And on the bimbo, who no one can remember the name of, who had certain events, I believe they were YAF sponsored. Again, no one went to these things. So now that we've covered the events, now that we've covered the fact that we need to keep the momentum up, I'm going to keep talking about maintaining the momentum. Because, again, there's not going to be events this week, but we need to keep the pressure up on these people. If you have a Twitter account, you need to go on Twitter and you need to harangue them, especially when they talk about immigration, especially when they talk about the social issues of, like, Chick-fil-A is now backing down against the Christian movement and are now saying lots of pro-LGBT stuff, and they're going to donate because GLAAD forced them. Well, this is the culture that Conservative Inc. created. Again, why are you accepting the left's moral framework? Again, why are you just adopting positions of the left from 5 years ago? You need to be strong conservatives. You need to put on your big boy pants with your big boy suspenders and your big boy bow and tie and fucking make the case for conservatism. I am not that conservative. I will admit that to you guys right now. I am not that conservative. And yet, here I am having to defend conservative positions. It's annoying. It's stupid. I don't really want to do that until I come back to you guys after reading, lots of paleo-conservative works, as I want to do within the next decade. But other than that, I have no interest in defending the, normie conservative position. Okay? That's your job, Conservative Inc. Defend conservatism! Oh, man. It's getting to a point where I am just realizing, how futile having, big brain institutions like Conservative Inc., the corporate side of the Democratic Party, how fucking useless they are, The Democratic Party right now has failed to stop the spread of socialism and communism as mainstream democratic ideals. They have completely failed. And I've covered that in that video on Is the Democratic Party Finished? And, this Groyper War shit is proof that Conservative Inc. has failed to conserve anything since the Reagan administration. They have failed to do a single thing that is remotely socially conservative. They have just ceded ground to the left time and time again. They're ceding it on culture. They're ceding it in the social issues. They are going to cede it for the rest of their entire life. And I think there have been a couple of people who have explained it pretty well recently, and I'm sorry I can't credit them exactly. But it's because they make more money by being the quote-unquote opposition party, by being the resistance. to leftism. And, you know, that's a great way to fucking line your house in gold, fellas. But, like, dude, are you actually going to do something? Or are you just going to sit there while the country burns to the fucking ground, all in the name of leftism? So, we are at an impasse yet again. We are at the end of this commentary. I hope that everybody listening to this has a great Thanksgiving. I'm probably not going to reiterate that in the next couple of videos that I record today, so I want to get that out now. I hope you really enjoy the time with your family, and, you know, you don't start a fucking culture war at the dinner table, and that you can just get through it if they're that kind of retard or that kind of boomer. And so yeah, to Conservative Inc., who refuses to learn, refuses to adapt, refuses to change, and refuses to actually implement anything that will stop the spread of leftism. Tread lightly, because the Groypers are going to come for you.